You're listening to ABA One-on-One Podcast.
The best way to keep up with everything happening around here at ABA One-on-One is to join our monthly newsletter. Just for joining, we give you $230 worth of free gifts from our sponsors once you confirm your email address. You can unsubscribe at any time, but why would you? Just go to our website, www.aba1on1.club, scroll to the bottom of the page, and subscribe.
Come explore the No Strings Attached e-News online magazine. Our global array of authors inspire, delight, and educate with practical and entertaining articles. And with Focus On, we help producers of film, web series, and other video content attract a wider audience. Plus, your project can stream on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and more with our media partners E360 TV and NETV. No Strings Attached e-News, focusing on human interest. Advertising available, nsaen.com.
Hey guys, it's time for a new episode of ABA One-on-One.
Open up, yeah. Open up now. Open up. Open up, yeah. Open up. Open up now. I give a damn dog, give him a roll. Give a damn dog a bone. I give a damn dog, give him a roll. Give a damn dog a bone. I give him a bone. Damn dog, give him a roll.
There you go, guys. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to another ABA One-on-One. Today in the house we have Jerome Robinson. We've got Rick and Brian joining us again. And man, we're going to do what we love to do here, and that's talk basketball. Brian, why don't you kick this thing off, man? Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Jerome, welcome, man. Well, Jerome, that's Dad. I'll say Rome. Welcome, man. Welcome
There we go. Yeah, Rome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Most importantly, I guess the first thing we want to hear, man, is we want to hear about you. You know, you're playing at that top level. You know, you're in the NBA. We want to know what your story is. Tell us a little bit about your story, Rome.
Yeah. So for me, I wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school. I only had, I grew up in the North Carolina area or Raleigh. So, that triangle between Carolina, Duke, NC State, I kind of just grew up watching, wanted to be a part of. And then obviously with my basketball background, as far as my dad and his side of the family, hoops was huge just as far as the family. But growing up, I played all three sports. And in high school, I played baseball and basketball. Almost gave up basketball to play baseball until we went to the state championship my sophomore year in high school. And unfortunately we lost, but we played on a Saturday and I had baseball practice on Monday, and just walking on the field, I was like, nah, I think basketball is it, man. There's nothing that can really match that atmosphere, that adrenaline rush, just that aura of everything that goes on during a basketball game in another sport. So basketball, after that experience for me, I just transitioned over to straight basketball and started back playing AAU in the summer times, and picked up not that many offers early on, like my junior year, but picked up more going into my senior year and ended up committing to Boston College on my one and only visit while I was at BC, and not felt pressured by my dad, but knew the way he was talking to me about it, that he felt very comfortable there, and I actually really liked being there. And for me, it was part of the ACC, and I didn't have any other ACC offers, and I was sold. He always told me that I just needed an opportunity and to get on that big stage to play, and that's what it was for me.
Wow, fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you a story in a minute, Rome. You're talking about no ACC offers, and again, I know this show's about you, but I'm kind of partial to your dad since he played for me.
Yeah.
And I told people early on, when he was a freshman, when he came in as a freshman, he wasn't recruited hardly at all, and a lot of it was him, and a lot of it was just people missed the boat on him. But I'm gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm.
if anybody could play in the ACC, her dad, and I know you've heard this a million times, he was a stud. I'm telling you, I was, he made me look like a really, really good coach. And, and I put some, and when you get one really, really good player, as you know, then you're more likely to attract some other really good players, because really good players want to play with really good players. And we had two of the best years we ever had in the history of the program when I had him. But, North Carolina State recruited him a little bit, and I told North Carolina State back in the day that y'all missing the boat on this kid. And, but again, that's a recruiting process. But anyway, let's talk about you, Jerome. I know you went to Broughton and Raleigh. Brian, you and CJ, y'all may not be familiar with this. I mentioned this in one of the earlier shows. It's no place in the world, I ain't gonna say the world, maybe the world, it's put out more high caliber players. First of all, from the state of North Carolina, but more specifically, Raleigh, where Rome is from, Broughton. I can name you at least 8 or 10. I'm not going to 8 or 10 prominent NBA players that came out of Raleigh.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, just to start with, Pistol Pete went to my high school.
Yep.
We had David West, Shavlik Randolph, Devontae Graham, that's an NBA now with me. TJ Warren, another Raleigh guy, PJ Tucker, we got a bunch, John Wall. I mean, we got a bunch of guys that just
Nate McMillan.
Yeah, exactly. Even Tony, TJ's dad, Lavelle Moten, just a bunch of guys, man, that and we've always had this thing that's called the hoop state, and I believe it. You know what I mean? It's all basketball. Like, you go into these gyms, and I mean, there's so many really good guys everywhere. Like, you can just get great competition.
Okay. Wow, that's good. I mean, that's that kind of reminds me of the streets of Jersey back in the day.
Yeah, Jersey. You guys had it popping up there for a while. New York, Jersey.
Oh yeah. So, but it's always good to get that tough competition. Now, you growing up as a young athlete, and you just mentioned how you always get good competition where you're from. What was your path like? Like, I coach and I teach a lot of players out here, and one of the big differences is most of the players out here, they go look for coaches. So that's how they learn the game. And, me, myself, I grew up a different way. I grew up on the hard tops. What was your path like? Did you find that the pickup ball, the pickup game helped you more, or did you see the coaching side of it, or seek the coaching side of it like a lot of young athletes do today?
I would say I would put playing overall first, and then I would say I want to say maybe even the personal work you get in. Like, I just remember those times being at the YMCA either early in the morning before school or after school when there was no runs, and I'd just be in there making up drills, looking up drills, you know what I mean? Like, just working on my own game. And then at the same time, if I knew a coach really well, or somebody that I trusted that I thought could get me better, and that my parents thought could get me better, I would get some work in with them. For me, it's always great from grabbing, from other people and kind of just meshing it in your own game and just seeing what works for you as best as possible. But I would definitely say all the pickup that I played at the YMCA after school when I couldn't drive home was something I felt like definitely put my game to another level.
Oh, fantastic! Because that's it's one of the things that, like I said, I try and teach is, and I don't know, Rick, you might have a theory on this, but I feel as though that one-on-one teaches you your strengths, your weaknesses, both offensively and defensively. When you progress to 2-on-2, that helps you how to defend off the ball. That helps you how to move off the ball. That helps you, help and recover. That works on that part of the game for you, introduces those things. And, when you move to the 3-on-3, where that adds the split line, that helps with the movement again, that creates more spacing and starts teaching the game in those stages. And I've always been a strong believer that one-on-one really helps you define who you are, and then you start to build off of that from there. What are your thoughts on that, Rick? I mean,
Yeah, that's
No, I agree, but I agree. I think you got to start for the basics. I started this fundamental basketball academy years ago, where I go one-on-one most of the time with the kid, and all we do is fundamentals. There is no games, there ain't competition. We work on footwork, we work on shooting drills, we work on defending, stance, all athletic stance, all those things. But it's got to start from there. Rome, when you were in high school, you said you went to the finals your sophomore year?
Yeah, my sophomore year of high school.
Where'd y'all play at the Dean Dome? Is that where the state tournament is?
We played at the Dean Dome, and it was packed, and that was unbelievable. Like I couldn't believe how many people were there for a high school basketball game, and just a great atmosphere.
No question. No question. I was telling them, getting to go back to your dad again, when he was playing for me, we always played in the Dean Dome, and he used to put on a show. We'd play their JV team. And by halftime of our game, the JV game started at 5. And by halftime of our game, because the varsity game was after that, they'd play Duke or North Carolina or some ACC school. So the place was 23,000 people, and it was probably 18,000 there by halftime of our game.
That's
So
awesome.
when you got junior college kids, a lot of times you can convince them of stuff. And I said, those guys come here to see us play. They gonna stay and see the Tar Heels play, but they came here to see us play. And some of them would laugh at me, and some of them believe me. But great atmosphere, tremendous atmosphere. Playing before that many people, and most of them, they're hostile because they're pulling for the Carolina JV team. But you played there as Boston College. What was that like?
Yep. That was awesome. Just being back home, it was tough. So my freshman year, I actually I fractured my wrist. Literally the game before I was going to go down and play in the Dean Dome for the first time ever. I was so mad. And so the only time I got to play there was my junior year before I left. And I mean, that was awesome. Just having all my family there, being there. I grew up a Carolina fan, so that was just awesome.
Man, not bad. Hey, now we got I want to ask you, playing on the other side of the world in LA with the Clippers, what was that like? Was it different style of the game, or was it a little bit more intense, or was it kind of what you expected?
I would say it was definitely different from college. Just as far as you're going from, one being the man to now you have to go prove yourself and play against, vet guys and guys that are established and things of that nature. But as far as the playing style was definitely different. It's a lot more ball screens, a lot more kind of isolations. The game's it's quick. Like normally in college, like you could pass up a good shot, but in the NBA, a good shot is a great shot, So if you're open, you got to take it, because by the time you see a next good shot, it might not be no more time on the clock. So that was definitely an adjustment. And by next year, there was a little more ISO and ball screens as well. But yeah, the whole style is definitely different going from college to NBA.
Man.
okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Brian.
No, so you're with the Wizards now, yeah? Okay.
Yep.
Just give me some insight, man. I mean, I know this has been a tough year with this whole COVID-19 thing, and the isolations and things of that nature. What's this whole experience been like for you, I guess, with the restart and the bubble and things of that nature? What's that adjustment has been like for yourself?
So it was crazy. Just when all that happened, just to think, I mean, you would never think first. I mean, the NBA had just canceled, postponed the season right away. This is before like anything really shut down. So it was like kind of like
Yeah.
you don't think it's real at first. You're like, all right, we give it like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like everybody kind of thought like, all right, this is gonna be all right. But
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like, you know, there's literally no movement, quarantine at home. So it's like, man, like you got to figure out how to stay in shape. You got to figure out, you know, if we're going to start the season right back right away. Like nobody has any
Yeah.
clue, and there's so much uncertainty that you just got to, you know, kind of figure it out, act like nothing changed. So, you know, I just got a lot of work into my garage. I didn't get to see a basketball hoop though for probably 2 months. I want to say a month. I want to say like it was a while. Like I had no basketball hoop. There's when I went home, that was the first time I seen a basketball hoop was outside in the backyard. And so I got shots out there, and I mean that was about it. And then when we started back, you can only have 4 players in the gym, 1 coach, and they wore gloves and masks, and then you're in for 45 minutes and then you're out. And you know we got tested every day, and then as far as going to the bubble, I mean that was just a great plan by the NBA.
Yeah.
No question.
It almost feels weird because I mean I just left the bubble today that like I'm almost scared coming back into the real world. You know what I mean? Like I'm like it was so safe there. You know, you get
Better go get
every
tested
day.
tomorrow.
Yeah, for real. Like I'm so nervous, and you know, you got everybody's doing their oxygen test, everybody's doing their thermostats in the morning. You know, you got a questionnaire to answer every day. Like it was so professional and so like I don't know a good word for it, but just very on point. Yeah, on point as far as like checking all the protocols and making sure it is super safe and that nothing could happen or possibly happen in the bubble. And they've done that so far. So that was
no
awesome.
positive tests I've heard.
No positive tests. The only thing is, you know, you got to watch out for the false positive. So whenever that popped up, you automatically go to quarantine, and then you get you have to have 2 negative tests back to back. So that's the only thing I can get, you know, in a sticky situation in the playoffs is if LeBron tests false positive, you know what I mean? How long is he going to be in quarantine? Like he's got to do 2 negative tests, but you got to see how long, you know, they take to come back. So other than that, I mean, the bubble was great.
False positive, that means it's a negative, right, Ron?
Well, it means it popped up positive, but there's like you know, you get tested every day. So like if you went negative for the last 70 days or however long, and then one just pops up positive, it could just be out of the whatever percentage of a false positive rate, you know? So then they just test you 2 times back to back, boom, boom, and then those could be both negative. That's how they know it's a false positive.
Yeah. Wow. That's why the NBA is the greatest, is by far the greatest sports league in the world. I don't think it's, I don't think
by far. We actually need Adam Silver down here in Melbourne to start putting us in a bubble and quarantining because, as you know, we're locked down. We're in a situation here in Melbourne where we can't leave. You can't go 2 miles past your house. You're not allowed out after 8 p.m. We're on a curfew. You have to wear a mask while you're in public. We can't cross the borders into different states. And when you go shopping, only one person from your household can go shopping. And see, we're kind of in this restricted time zone right now because of our outbreaks. But fortunately enough, you know, my family, we're all good right now, at least right now. You just don't know tomorrow, but we're all good.
But those, like, that's the thing though, is those protocols that like you guys are on is something that, you know, I feel like we shouldn't implement as far as a country, you know, before, because that's the thing. Like I went from going to Maryland and in this DC area where everything was super strict, you know, mask, everything. And I went down to North Carolina and it was like, it's just another day down here. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, this is creepy, man. Like put a mask on. This is not okay. So it's, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know, something we just have to deal with.
Yeah, we won't get into the politics of all that, but man, I just find it scary. I got family over there, you know, like you guys, and when I see how loose it is, I just go, wow. And then you look at like New Zealand, you know, they got a couple of cases that came back, but they almost for 100 days they got rid of it. You know, they had no cases. You know, so the separation and the 14 days and wearing a mask and being clean, it's proven it works. So, but anyway,
sure.
yeah,
Man, CJ, Oklahoma don't even know. Oklahoma's so isolated, they don't even know what the pandemic going on, man. What you talking about, man?
Hey, Rick, that's the fastest way to get your mic muted. Is talking about Oklahoma.
No, I'm saying it complimentary.
It's
CJ.
Talking about Oklahoma like that, bro. That's the fastest way to get your mic muted.
I'm just saying they don't even know it's in the COVID.
Rick, I feel you, Rick, because I was talking to some dude the other day, and he was asking me about the Hindenburg blimp. And I was like, where you from? He said, Oklahoma.
Oh, my God. Yep.
Hey.
We about to turn this show definitely into ABA 1-on-1. We're good. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
Hey.
See what I got to put up with? See what I got to put up with?
I see.
Hey, Rome was. Hey, I was watching some games. I don't know, it's been a few weeks ago, and Rome was. The Wizards were playing, so I automatically glued in on them. And all of a sudden, I looked Rome come off a screen and nailed a three. Because I blew my phone up, I'm calling, texting his dad. I said, "Rome just hit a three. Rome just hit a three." Like he didn't know that probably. And so every time Rome would do something good, I'm blowing it up. I'm texting him or sending him a message, messaging him or whatever. And I said, "Yeah, that's my guy."
I appreciate that.
Tell us one little quick point. Then I want Rome to talk. Right when Rome got drafted, he was the first round pick of the Clippers. And I'm going, yeah, baby, because I his dad. I know he's very close to him, and so I texted his dad because I knew what the signing bonuses was going to be. I know, and all of a sudden you go going to the big time. And I told his dad, I said, although I am a Caucasian, I think I am distantly related. I think I'm gonna do a DNA thing because I think I'm distantly related. I know I'm distantly related to you, Jerome, his dad. I said, so when he signs that contract, just keep that in mind, all your relatives.
All your relatives.
He got relatives he didn't even know he had. I said, I'm your best Caucasian cousin. I'm way back. And we go way back, brother.
Hey, Rick, it's funny you bring that up because we got him on the show, we're getting a new sponsor on. So, no, I'm just kidding.
Right. That's right.
No, that's great, man. That's great.
Now, Rome, getting back to you, man, and those old dudes over there, they just keep talking and talking. But anyway.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know. I called y'all old. I'm the youngest one of the group, by the way, Rome, so I can say that.
By 1 year.
Only chronologically, not mentally.
Oh, God. Now, the Wizards, man, the Wizards. Okay, this year wasn't a great year for the Wizards, and I mean, I get it, this whole COVID thing too, and John Wall had went down, and you guys had a few injuries that went through. What are your thoughts on the squad that you're with, and what's your outlook on how you see things progressing next year? I mean, I can imagine you being more in that rotation moving forward, and just give me your thoughts, man.
Yeah, so I mean, for as far as us, I think the bubble was great. I think that although the record doesn't show it, I thought we fought hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was a chance for all the young guys to get real in-game experience, and there's nothing you could substitute for that. I'm gonna be honest, like that by itself can just boost your game or your just in-game development by a lot, as far as just getting those reps in the game and just going through it. As far as our team, I mean, I think we look really good with John coming back healthy, Brad coming back healthy, depending on who they sign in free agency. I mean, I think we have a great young core with those two guys who've been in the league for a while now and have playoff experience. I think we can run and gun with those guys. We got a lot of fast young guys that want to get out, play quick, can shoot the ball, can facilitate, make plays. But at the same time, we have two all-stars on our team that could take over games when they need to and go for 50 or go for 40 when we need them to will us through.
Wow. Yeah. Great points, man. Great points. Now, I'm going to give you this question, Rome, because I want you to be a great player. Okay. But I want you to be a great player. One thing that great players do is they always reinvent themselves. And they reinvent themselves every year, whether it be adding a post game, adding the perimeter game, adding something, adding the mid range. Every year, if you look at the great players, they don't stay in a pigeonhole and be a specialist in one position. They always add something to their game. What's your game like now? And what are you working on to add to your game for next year to take you to that next step to being a great player? That's a tough question.
Oh yeah. But it's something I feel like me and my dad talk about all the time, and especially with summer coming up, he's already talked to me, and we've talked about it. But for me, I've always been a 3-level scorer, but since I've been in the NBA, it's been mostly for me threes, especially when I was with the Clippers, and then now with the Wizards, it's been threes and mid-range. And I really haven't been at my 3 level that I feel like I've grown up playing at. So what my main focus I feel like is going to be this summer is ball handling and being able to create and get to the rim and finish at the rim, either with dunks, floaters, high glass finishes, things of that nature, because that's another level of scoring. And I feel like I have that ability to get by guys and be able to finish at the rim at my size. So I think for me, I'm a great 3-point shooter. I'm a great pick and roll player, and I'm able to make mid-range shots off the bounce, which I can always get better at. But main focuses for me are going to be finishing around the rim and moves to create space to get to the rim.
Fantastic. That's good, because that's the thing. It's always reinventing and always adding that extra dimension to your game every year that separates a lot of players. And that's the one good thing. And that's why I asked you that question. Make sure you're a great player by always adding, but always adding and building on what you got. So,
Rome, let me ask you a question too. I think I know you know the answer to this. You were talking about getting to the hole and finishing at the rim, and I'm gonna tell you, you know where that all starts, right?
Where?
In the weight room. In the weight room.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you sound just like my dad right now. You really might be related.
I wonder why.
Get your butt in the weight room.
I wonder why.
No, I'm telling you though. I tell kids this all the time. You bigger, you better. I don't care how much finesse you got and how quick you are, but when you go against somebody that's done the same thing, it's been in that weight room. That's why I used to love football players that come out for basketball. Those guys, I mean, their upper body and stuff and banging. Because if you ain't strong, you're gonna get killed.
Take the contact, and it looks like it doesn't even phase him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I seen a lot of that out of Brad this year. I mean, it was crazy. I didn't know he could really finish at the rim like the way he does, and he just literally jumps in there and he hits the big and is floating in the air and then finishes, or either he gets fouled. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. I was like, I need to finish like that. That's
wow. Hey, Rome,
great.
Before we get out of here, we starting to run down on time. What player influenced you growing up? Mine, when I was growing up, I'm out there shooting around, doing my moves. It was always Earl the Pearl Monroe. Who got in your psyche when you were growing up? I mean, I know you're still young, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I would say for me, like, because I've always I feel like I've always had like a group of like favorite players. So like, I always thought of it like I'm gonna take bits and pieces of these guys and kind of implement it as best I can in my game. But for me, number one was always D Wade, for sure. So, he was the Flash.
Nice choice.
He was different. He was different.
Nice choice. Oh man. And one other thing before we get out of here, I always ask everybody this, and even though you knew in the game itself, should I say, you've been around, but you got any cool, interesting stories or anything that's happened to you along your journey that you could tell us about? One of those barroom ones.
Let me think.
Or have you been lucky so far?
No, I mean, it was, I would say for me, like cool stories is kind of funny too, but
good.
I used to always like Kawhi was a super cool dude. Like, it's just funny, like, cause it's so social media driven now. Like people think they know people's personalities on social media, but he's a guy that you only know him if you know him or in a room with him. So being around him a bunch was awesome. I mean, he is hilarious, and so like I used to try to make him laugh sometimes just so I can hear his laugh. And it used to crack me up. Like I'd ask him the dumbest questions sometimes, but just so I could make him laugh, it'd be funny. But so his first ever live possession back literally first live of training camp. I was looking around to see who I'm about to guard, and I see everybody's matched up, and I look and I see he walked on the court. I said, "Oh man, I got Kawhi." I said, "All right, word." Boom, he comes off a handoff. I bust through the handoff. Ball screen comes. Boom, I bust through the ball screen. I'm like, oh, I got him. Like, I'm good. He starts driving towards the basket, and we both jump at the same time. I'm like, oh, I got him. And I've never seen somebody, and this is why I got to get in the weight room, swipe my arms out of the way somehow and laid it up at the rim so easily.
Oh.
And, like, I really felt like I like, guarded him the best I could. And as we're jogging down the floor, he goes, "It's like riding a bike," with his little laugh. And it was so funny. I was like, wow.
Oh,
said,
man.
Wow.
Tell me about Patrick Beverly, Jerome.
Oh, Pat is awesome, man. Like, he's one of the nicest dudes. I still talk to him all the time. Like, one of the nicest people off of the court, for sure. But on the court, if you're not on his team, oh, you're gonna hate him because he's such a pest.
And he wants to be like that.
And he wants to be like that. Like he's like, yo, I'll go wipe this dude. Like, he was so off the chain. Like, he would just be leaning up on guys, like wiping his sweat on people, or like wiping their like just so crazy. But,
stole
like,
it from LeBron.
Yeah. Like it was. I mean, it's awesome. Like, seeing him go at it in practice, how he prepares. And just his whole story, like, oh my God, like his story, just as far as him going like second division and like I think he was in Austria or Poland or somewhere, to just working his way back up. And even like I mean, he's from Chicago, was tough upbringing all the way up, and then go through that, get out of school. You know what I mean?
You gotta love people like that.
Now, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, and all he wants to do is bring up the people around him and make sure his family's good. And he's a great person to be around, man. Like, I used to love being around Pat, Lou. All those guys were super, super great people.
Man. Awesome. Well, look, Rome, we're about to run out of time here, but we definitely going to keep an eye on you, and we're going to try to get you back in here. We hope you hope this COVID thing kind of ends soon, so everybody can get sports back to normal. Make our
come to Australia with me, CJ.
Hey,
well,
man, I'd be down to go out there,
brother.
Yeah, you can go with me.
We'll get you out here for a camp. That's what we'll do.
We're actually playing ball in Sydney. We're actually playing ball in Sydney. Our ABA season starts here in 2 weeks. So we all right. But Melbourne, still got
Melbourne, we're locked down.
Yeah, but we'll work something, man. We'll get you out here for a camp.
definitely.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I'm going to give you one piece of advice, Rome. When you spoke about how Bradley Beal absorbs the contact, well, think about this while you're training. Play through contact, not to contact, or use it in terms of playing through the whistle, not to the whistle. That's just one thing I like to teach young players.
Okay, Obi-Wan. Thank you.
Hey, man.
All right.
I've heard
Hey, guys,
That was a
look.
good one.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody. And Rome, hey, I'll never call you Jerome again. It's always Rome from now. Thank you.
All
Thank
good.
you. Thank you for being on the show, brother. And
Thank you so much for having me.
yeah, we
Yeah,
really
Ron,
appreciate
good job,
it.
man.
And
Hey, you ain't
Rick?
thanking me for coaching his dad? Come on, man.
well, you didn't let me finish. You cut me off.
Sorry, man.
And
Sorry.
Rick, thank you for being there from inception to now for him.
for being that other cousin.
Yeah. Rick was in there when all the business was being done. He goes, yeah, that a boy, Jerome. You know? And Brian, once again, man, thank you as always for being on the show, man. And Rick, before we get out of here, you had something you always like to say there.
Never let the truth stand in the way of a good story.
That's what we needed to hear. All right, man, Jerome.
Fantastic.
Rome, thank you. Rick, Brian, we out of here, y'all. Thank you for being
Rome, I'm going to give you a call, man.
All right, Ron. Take care, man.
All right,
See you,
guys.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care, guys.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Sassy B Worldwide Productions. With over 25 years of entertainment experience, we have done it all. Celebrity appearances, red carpet events, image consultation, and branding design. Our clients range from American football stars to Hollywood celebrities and everyone in between. Want to make a splash in the entertainment industry? Then it's time to get sassy. SassyBWorldwide.com.
The American Basketball Association is the largest pro league in the world. Some great opportunities for team ownership are available, and the cost may surprise you. If you've ever thought about team ownership in a pro league, give us the opportunity to help make it a reality. Reach out to us for more info. For USA teams at www.abaliveaction.com. In Australia, go to www.abaleagueaustralia.com.
Well, that's going to do it for this week. Remember, you can keep up with every episode by subscribing via our website. Follow us on social media and tell your friends about us. Next week, new guests, more basketball tips, more basketball stories about the game we all love. Till then, be safe and keep your eyes on the ball.
Give it them, doc, give him a bone. Give it them, doc, a bone. I give it them, doc, give him a bone. Give it them, doc, a bone.
Give him a bone.
Them, doc, give him a bone. Give it them, doc, a bone.
Give him a bone.
Give it